Alright, Chris, I have shown you my version of the test where I have my camera strapped to a bike tire on the outside rim, and I move that tire and I have exactly where the point of access is pointing at. I marked it with multiple different kind of markings. I've recreated the star trails with Christmas lights. Your experiments is flawed, and I've explained why yours is flawed. You've always had the backgrounds way too close, and you never had the point of access marked. You never had the point of access in frame correctly, and most of the times you're using your hands to create that motion, where that axis moves constantly, so you can't even have a good scene. It's like me trying to do it with my arm, because my hand moves, that point of access moves. But you know what's an easy way? And you say, oh yeah, no, you gotta look at the stars. Here, how about if I put my phone arm's length pointed straight up and look at the sky? Now imagine if there was hundreds of stars in that photo. What would they all do? All rotate in a circle around that point. What difference does it make that I make the stars? You don't understand how difficult it is to take photos of stars in a city with a lot of light pollution. Every single time I've done star trails, I've been out in the middle of nowhere where there's the closest star or closest city lights closest to me would be 20, 30 miles away from me, 10 miles away from me. I've been middle of lakes. I've been to the forest. I've been to the mountains to take photos like that. For me to recreate it, to have a consistent motion like that over a 30-second, probably a 20-30-second photo shot, and not try to, because that's how much time you need to gather all that light from those little dots of light, because they are dim as hell, and it takes a lot of preparation to take photos of stars, because I have done it myself. Have you? Because I've spent hours in the woods. I've spent hours in the mountains to take photos of stars. I know the limitations of a camera. I've done it. I've personally made star trails. You don't understand the motion of the planet. You cannot picture it. And I know this because you say you cannot be done. I've shown you. I can have the point where Polaris is. I can mimic that with my experiment by moving it to the different frames of the picture. I can have it in the bottom left corner. I can have it on the top right corner. I can have it in the middle. I can have it on top of the frame. I can have it on the bottom of the frame. I'll recreate that. I gladly. But until you prove to me, until you explain to me exactly why what I've shown is different than me taking a picture of the background, until you explain to me, until you show me in your experiment how, by following my parameters, that you know exactly, you have a stable platform which the camera is gonna rotate around. You know exactly where the actual point is pointing at, and you have that marked in your background, and you have that point in your frame of camera. Until you show that to me and explain to me how that is any different than if you move that to up into the sky, where it doesn't matter, and where it's up in the sky infinitely far away, how that is different, any different. You say we were cheating, we're recreating. No, we're not cheating. We're just recreating circular motion. And you have not explained how we're cheating. Oh, look, the frame. No, that doesn't matter. Look at the edges. Look, the edges, if you follow the point of the edges, it's going to fully rotate around the four corners. Look at the motion of the four corners of those pictures. Any video that anyone has shown you, they are going to be rotating around that point. Look at the motion of the sky. This is a simple test you can do. My head is my head is the center of rotation. It's pointed straight up into the sky's axis. I have that in frame. You do that and explain to me. You do that with anything you've done and show to me why it's wrong, how it's different. Because all you have to do is, in the video I just showed, Imagine hundreds of stars in that frame, and imagine what each star would be doing at that point.